spent the last year, again, making a series of short documentaries that explore the sort of cybernetic symbiosis between humans and technology. I'm interested in the way technology radically extends the boundaries of human possibility. Technology is a conduit for extending the imagination beyond all previous limits. One of my favorite lines by Eric Davis is, as the human design process achieves increasingly a kind of infinite velocity, everything will become linked with everything else, and matter becomes mind. The cognitive philosopher Andy Clark wrote a book called Natural Born Cyborgs, and we saw actually a cyborg speak today, which was wonderful. And he basically says that technology is really a scaffolding that extends our thought, our reach, and our vision. Humans are adept at dovetailing their intelligence, dovetailing their cognition to our tools. We distribute our intelligence. Minds really reside in the feedback loops between humans, tools, technologies, and the space in between. And so I've been doing these videos about extending our sphere of possibility, extending ourselves, spreading ourselves all over the universe. But I decided now, for my newest video, to actually fold the attention back to the self and actually speculate on the emergence of consciousness, that voice in our heads that lets us know that we exist. How do we tune the attention back inwards? How do we come to be? So Douglas Hofstadter has a famous book called Godel Esther Bach, An Eternal Golden Braid. And that book looks at the emergence of the self, the emergence of the I. And it's really a sort of psychedelic digital experience you guys are about to have. I'm going to leave you with this video, which was recently tweeted by Ron Howard, which I was very thrilled about. It's called The Mirroring Mind. This is where the self begins. Before we can design, create, and transform the world, we have to come to be. This is how we come to be. Thank you very much.
So we've been talking about the origins of human consciousness, that complex sense of self-awareness that defines the human experience, that voice in your head that lets you know that you exist. And one of the most interesting theories to account for the origins of this complex phenomenon is the idea of the Godelian Loop. The Godelian Loop basically says that brains are media, hard drives that store patterns that mirror the external world of which those brains themselves are a part of. In other words, the internal model of the external world includes the observer making the observation, and it is in this inevitable vortex of self-mirroring that a real causal I, a sense of self, a sentient mind emerges, is birthed into being. It's like plugging a video camera into the TV and then aiming the camera at the TV. The recursive loop that is formed extends itself ad infinitum. And of course, this points to the idea that the more self-referentially rich a mind is, the more self-aware it becomes. That's why some of us are tuned into the broadcast of the ego and others are tuned into the broadcast of the whole. That's why there exists concepts like Buddha consciousness. That's why some of us are awake and others of us are asleep. That's why there's biblical proverbs that say, whereas once I was blind, now I can see. And I think when we become aware of the cybernetic feedback loops that describe the whole, baseline reality dissolves and a new reality emerges in its pixelating wake. Much more beautiful and much more satisfying.
I'll leave you with these thoughts. We may be flawed, stumbling primates, but when we work together, we are primates that can fly. Thank you very much.